From a 500-person Airbus in Germany that nearly lost control, and an Ethiopian cargo plane that got caught in a strong Miami crosswind, to a stormy day in the UK that put dozens of pilots to the ultimate test and much more. Here are some of the scariest crosswind landings caught on camera. With roughly 16 million passengers in 2022, Düsseldorf Airport in northern Germany is the fourth busiest airport in the country. It services flights from all around the world, with trips to and from the UAE being the ninth busiest route. On October 5th of 2017, an Emirates-operated Airbus A380 came in for a landing at Düsseldorf. Meanwhile, powerful crosswinds brought on by Cyclone Xavier smashed into the plane. Our pilots had to lean on every second of their training to land safely. But things didn't go so smoothly once they finally touched down. Look at how heavily the wind affects the wings and tail fin. Imagine being in the cockpit knowing more than 500 people are relying on you to land safely. Thankfully, these are some of the most skilled pilots in the world. The Airbus A380 is the world's largest passenger plane. It features two full-length seating decks that can fit between 525 and 853 people comfortably. As of today, Emirates Airlines has the largest fleet of A380s, with 123 ready to fly. The next largest is Singapore Airlines, and they only have 14. Ethiopian Airlines is the largest airline group and cargo operator in Africa. From humble beginnings in 1945, they'd eventually be named the best airline in Africa in 2017. They made further history in 2018 after agreeing to twice-weekly freighter flights between Ethiopia and Miami. It marked the first ever cargo route between Miami and the African continent. Things ran pretty smoothly over the next few years. Then, in April of 2021, an Ethiopian cargo flight caught everyone's eye when it made an extremely rocky landing. To their credit, the pilots did their best after getting caught in a strong crosswind. There was a scary moment when it looked like the front gear wouldn't touch down. Had they gone any further on the rear wheels, the pilot would have had to abort and circle back. Thankfully, the front gear touched and the plane stopped safely. Since this was a cargo flight, the only people on board were the pilots and crew. Hopefully, whatever they were carrying didn't suffer any damage. If you're flying into North Somerset in the UK, you'll likely land at Bristol International Airport. In 2019, they were ranked the 8th busiest airport in the UK, servicing over 8.9 million people. According to their website, the numbers have kept going up and up and up. Bristol International was dealt a lousy hand in August of 2020. The pandemic had already limited the number of flights they could service. Now, Storm Francis was coming to make those flights harder than they already were. Plane after plane battled 43-mile-per-hour crosswinds as they tried to land at Bristol International. Thankfully, these pilots were highly skilled in the art of crosswind landings. It may look a little silly, but these crab-style landings are the safest way to land in stormy conditions. First up was an EasyJet Airbus A320 from Inverness, Scotland. Let's see how this pilot weathered the storm.
10 kilometer or more, overcast, 1,800 feet, towering cumulus detected, temperature +18, dew point +14, QNH 997 hectopascal, threshold elevation 6.
Now, we'd call that perfect execution. But what's harder? Landing during a crosswind or taking off? The general consensus is crosswind takeoffs are easier than crosswind landings. That said, it still requires skill and finesse to keep the plane from veering off course. Next up, we have a Ryanair flight EI-EKN from Bucharest, Romania. Watch how this pilot executes a perfect crab landing, ensuring the nose of the plane hits straight on the runway.
Wind jet 240 degrees, 21, maximum 26.
The crab method is how pilots land during a crosswind. If they kept their nose pointed straight ahead, the wind would push them away from the runway and into the grass. By turning into the wind, the pilot counters the force and can keep the plane online. Then, they turn away at the last second, ensuring the front gear touches down on the center line. As you can see, the plane looks like it's flying sideways, hence the crab method. The next EasyJet pilot from the Canary Islands pulled off their crab landing perfectly. Watch how the plane looks like a puppet on strings as it comes down. Even small private planes have difficulty landing during a crosswind. Let's see how this Cessna 525B from Biggin Hill handles the rough conditions. Thankfully, every plane flying into Bristol that day landed safely. Still, some passengers were in for rockier landings than others. Take this TUI Airways flight from Greece, for example. According to our resident plane spotter, Mr. Aviation Guy, none of the planes had to abort any landings despite 43-mile-per-hour crosswinds. Now, things weren't as peachy in other parts of the UK. Storm Francis brought record-breaking winds and heavy rainfall to different parts of the country. Thankfully, things weren't too bad in Bristol, and our pilots could stick to their scheduled flights. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.